slept with another woman. So I know the answer around. Well, I'm just assuming.
You all say yes.
Around. No, not the women now. Because we asked the women, we gotta ask the men the same damn question. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just to be fair, I'm gonna go no.
No.
No. No. Okay.
No.
See, me on this whole preference, like, I think that shit's dead. Like, I think a man should be with a woman, and a woman should be with a man. And like, I don't know if it's like weird that I could also, maybe it's like, I don't know. I think a woman could be with a woman. That shit's sexy, but that's where it's like, oh, then
That's
how
a
can a
double
man?
standard.
You know what I'm saying? How can a man not be with a man? You know, but I'm just like,
But I agree with
that
that.
shit just not right.
I agree with that. Actually, I don't agree. I don't mind for a man to be with another man, but I wouldn't find any sexual attraction to that. But
So you just have sexual attraction to women on women.
Yo, women are beautiful.
Yeah,
They're art.
That's what it is.
I have sexual attraction to women, but at the same time, I
Women-
think there's been times where I've watched gay porn, and there were certain things that I actually was like interested in. I don't know what it was about, and then I was like, but that's what I'm saying. We're talking about orientation, so we're talking about what gets you off. Have you watched something and been like, oh wow, this turned me on?
Gay
What is
porn
that?
doesn't.
Things that
I'm
you
not attracted to man on man. Like, I don't care about a man being with another man, but it's not something that I would want to participate in. So if
I
I
would
were
want
to
to
find out
participate
that a guy that I was dating
right.
was with another man, that would kind of be draw the line for me.
Now,
But men are
so why?
bisexual
So that's what I was about to say. That. So
And
why
they
is
can
there
be.
such a double standard when it comes to men being bisexual? If you can genuinely believe that a woman can be bisexual, she can genuinely like both. Why can't a man?
I think a man
So-
can. He's just not the man for me. Just like some men don't like women who deal with other women.
Very true.
Right.
It's
This
just not the
is-
man for me.
This is how I look at it. I feel like, okay, so most men feel, there was an earlier conversation that women are more soft. A lot of women look for a relationship that's more emotional, outside of other things, but it's more of an emotional connection at first. When you see another man with another man, you're both trying to be superior. You're both trying to be alphas. You're both trying
That's
to.
not
think that's
necessarily,
it.
not necessarily true.
There's so
It
many
could be a
women
one
that
night
it's
stand.
I know it's
I just
not.
feel
There's so many
I just
feminine
feel-
That's not the case.
Yeah, I just feel like
I
you
mean,
can't
yeah,
confine
yeah,
it.
They're
we're gonna get,
they're
we're
out-
not going
they're-
into that direction. But let's just say, for a simple fact that, let's just say, okay, I'm attracted to a female. I'm looking at like her physique. I would go for a femme before a dom.
And here's the thing. And I was about to say that the same way.
You would go for a dom?
Yeah,
And that's-
I'm a fellow
You're a
princess.
man.
Okay, now listen.
I want to be catered to, but I want to be catered from both
So
sides.
if we're talking about labels,
about a woman though.
But I enjoy what I will say is for feminine women. Sometimes it's enjoyable to flirt with them because they are more of an aggressor than a masculine woman.
so here's the thing. I just want to say this one thing before we go. So when you're talking about dom, a feminine woman can be a dom. That's not about like how you identify. So if you're talking about the more masculine woman, you know the proper term that we have plenty like that consider themselves no label. Like don't call me anything. I'm not a femme. I'm not a stud. Don't call me anything. And then we have like the more masculine ones who tend to dress or act more mannish like a traditional man would, and that's a stud. And then we have the women who tend to act more like a straight female would, and they're a femme. And then you have those in between who may like play basketball, but she also get her hair done, and she may wear nails, and she may wear lashes and lip gloss. We call those stems. So so dyke is a that is a derogatory term.
Very much.
That's a derogatory. It is a derogatory term. Like
Stud is the preferred word.
right, it's the preferred word. That's the more. There are some women. There are
So
some
can I
women.
ask a question?
There are some women that will typically fit the stud bill who do not like that word either. But dyke that's like calling a trans woman a tranny. Like that's disrespectful. So we
Can
don't.
I ask a question?
Go by.
This is directed to her. It seems a lot.
More verse.
She knows.
If a woman goes for a stud, doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose? Because
Now listen.
I'm not
I'm not about to say nothing negative.
No, I'm not saying, you can say whatever you want, I'm just saying like, see, a lot of times, this conversation about sexual orientation goes back to choice. Because a lot of women who date men decide maybe from too many heartbreaks and too many this and they that, and then they go try a woman. You know, and a lot of times it's been a conversation. But the question is,
That was the storyline.
huh?
Now-
The
That was
question
the
is,
storyline.
I think my question is, isn't half of like, because a lot of people who are gay, they will swear up and down that it's a biological thing, like they were born this way and this way. What about women who just automatically switch from a lifetime of being one way, and because they don't like how they've been treated or they don't like how, any of this, and they just go try, because you
They
said
must have-
something
so-
about,
They must have always
So
had
you
that in the back
asked,
of
you
their mind.
asked you asked a few questions.
It's just,
So
they hit it.
if it was
They
directed
hit
to
it.
me, I'll say from my personal experience, because I do consider myself a member of the LGBTQIA+ community. Like, so I can understand how you would see that. But I can speak for myself as a woman who does present herself as a feminine woman. I was born a woman. I may say suck my dick, but I've never had one. And I have liked little girls since I was a little girl. It was never anything, that's good. It was never anything sexual by it, but I always liked little girls. Like at first I thought it was just like, oh, I want her to be my best friend. But as I started getting older and maybe around middle school and our hormones started rushing and we know what we like, we know what gets us off and gets us there, I realized that I did also like women. So, and I dated women before I ever dated a man. So from my opinion at least, I don't think I'm a woman who couldn't get a man, like who you would deem as she has no other choice. I just genuinely like women. That's just what I like. And then I discovered what penises feel like in college, and I didn't go, and then I swayed more that way. That was just like, if females had penises, I would be straight gay. I would be straight lesbian.
And so that was going to be
They
the question.
do.
So do you
I want
feel
to answer that
like,
question.
So I was like, they do.
sorry to interrupt you, but
Uh-huh.
something you said just, intrigued me a little bit. So being that your initial attraction was to women, right?
Well, I like both, but I know I didn't
Yes,
like
yes,
little
of
girls
course.
at a young age, yes.
Do you think it's more of a sexual connection with, I don't want to only say sexual, of a physical thing rather than it being emotional? Do you feel like you have more of an emotional connection with women than men? Which do you think it is?
That's a great question. I would honestly say that in the beginning, I definitely did. It's like, boys are icky, they're weird, they're this, they're that, they stink. And then as my hormones started rushing, I started realizing okay, that I do kind of like I do like facial hair. I do like the pheromones. I do like that as well, but like I said, that caters to a different side of me. So me personally, I am only attracted, so to go on your, doesn't it defeat the purpose to date a more stud female than to be a feminine? Me personally, I only like feminine women. But the same way that, some guys may only like short girls, some guys like tall girls, some guys like black girls, some guys like white girls, some like whatever, it becomes your preference. I've seen relationships where it's two studs in a relationship together. I've seen a relationship where it's two femmes. Like me, if I'm dating a female, I like women who present themselves in a feminine manner. So I would only date a woman who was also feminine.
Can I ask you another question?
Sure.
And this is just sheer, again, curiosity. Yo, have you ever been with a stud that doesn't want you to touch her pussy?
So those are called what they call touch me nots. I don't date studs.
So
I
I'm a bit confused.
I have gone on a date with a stud and I realized it wasn't for me.
Sarai, I'm a bit confused. So when you say don't they only want to please?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they because a lot of studs
They get off getting you off.
Well,
they
so
get
what
off
do you?
getting you off. A lot of studs.
They're there, girl. Please.
All right, I have a question.
And
I have a
those tend
question.
to be, hold on,
I
let
just
me
wanna
finish this one though. So those studs are typically the ones who would be more likely to be a trans man, like transitioning to men, because their vagina a lot of times make them uncomfortable. Like they wish they had a penis. Like it's an emotional thing, like touching their breast, touching their vagina, that reminds them that they are a female. And a lot of times that's why they don't like it.
Really?
I know studs that are okay
Take
with.
my thoughts, somebody.
I know studs that are okay
Go.
with.
Don't like what you're saying.
I don't know what's wrong.
Well, they
with
don't
it.
really like to get touched. They want to please, but
Maybe she wants
they're
some
not
water.
trying to be a man. They know they're a woman. They just want to please.
But they still touch me now?
even for me, I decided, I was curious. Me and my friends were just curious. We wanted to know what it was like, so we decided, I remember, I'm not gonna put people out there, but I was like, yo, let's just be gay for a month. And that was literally how we went. No, not for a month. That's what we thought. It was like,
Let's experiment.
but
Like
I learned
y'all
about
was gay with each other?
No. But we like got into relationships with
Other
girls. But it was like me and my best friend.
I'm sorry. The psyche to me is just so wild. How like
Girls can just
like,
do
yeah,
that.
like that.
Hey, yo.
My
Here's
brain
the
goes
thing.
do that.
So here's the
Like,
thing.
it's just so crazy.
So here's the thing.
Man.
So
Some
listen.
men are willing to try.
And I was just about to
Some
say
men
that
do.
there are plenty of men who feel this exact same way, but because of the negative stigma attached to
That's a
gay
fact.
men, like I know, like she just said earlier. I don't know if you caught that on camera, but she did say it before. If she was with a man who she knew had been with another man before, even if he would now consider himself straight, she would instantly be unattractive. So you have a lot of those men who are walking around here and they just won't tell you.
Yeah.
They're like, hell no,
They do
I ain't
like
with that
women
gay
still.
shit.
They do
But
like
then they
women.
definitely was with that
All
gay
right,
shit.
I have
in
a
college.
question for the women here.
Yeah.
Have you ever dated or known somebody who's dated a guy who actually turned out to be gay, who's just dating you to figure out like what the fuck I am?
Me and Bolano were just talking about this, but we're not gonna do that.
We're not
But
gonna
Don't say their name.
I feel like
there's I know African men. If I'm gonna just go, I'm gonna go all the way.
Yeah.
That are in Atlanta. You know who
No,
I'm
in
talking about.
Nigeria.
I'm gonna tell you, listen.
No,
I'm
you gonna have to tell
I'm gonna take this conversation
Okay.
further.
You know
Listen,
with this.
listen,
I can
Okay.
just tell.
What were you
You
saying?
know.
Oh, I thought. Well, pretty much you said something about basically like men.
They pretend.
Pretending. So there's something Michael said as well too that kind of had my mind thinking. So I went to boarding school in Nigeria, and like at the time, like what you call it, like homosexuality wasn't necessarily a thing that was really talked about.
It was never talked
Don't
about.
ask, don't tell.
It's
It
way
was
open
never
now.
But-
That's not just
Don't
But-
ask, don't tell. We better not find out.
But
That's how it
there
is.
was a lot of guys that were having sex with guys. Like this is like this is like it was like there was a point where it became a thing.
In
One
Nigeria.
person in particular was literally raping kids,
Oh wow.
hell
and he
no.
got expelled.
That's not only in America. It's
So
everywhere.
it's definitely it's a thing that happens. See, I come from a home that wasn't necessarily homophobic, but we didn't necessarily talk about it. And I think as I got older, I've been fortunate enough to get education, to be open minded, just to try to understand it.
Yeah.
And I think having more understanding
Yeah.
makes me feel like okay, then like, there's some sense to this. I don't know. It's a very
There is
weird.
that understanding.
It's a very weird.
So, growing up, because I went to boarding school too. I went to police secondary school in Niger State.
That's
So
serious.
yeah, like the COO, whatever his name is, he was fucking boys. You know what I'm saying?
No,
And
as the chief corporate officer.
yeah, the real like
So he was
the
just picking
the
from
real
his
guy.
boys from the guys.
So yeah, he'll just literally just come inside and he'll just carry somebody by the hand and then you won't see him till the next morning.
Yeah.
But he'll come home like all crunched up. And luckily I was never,
He didn't select you.
yeah. But when, after
Wow.
after boarding school, because I left because I was skinny and my mom was like, but anyway, came back home and that, because at school when we heard that information, my eyes started to get open and it was like older men that used to, they never did anything crazy. You know what I'm saying? They would come around, maybe touch your shoulders or whatever. And then after that, it was like, you see them now and you're like,
You notice things different.
you notice things different about them. So it's like, yeah, and that's why I'm a little bit on the edge because as far as like when it comes to sexual orientation, like I don't want to say I don't support it, but at the end of the day, to some people they will swear up and down that it's biological. Some people they will swear
Yeah.
up and down that it's
One
choice.
person. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then some people they'll swear that they're in the middle. So that's why I'm like conversations like this is really based on personal
Your personal experience.
experiences.
it
with
is.
this
Well, like,
situation.
how do you feel?
Because you haven't
Honestly,
said
because
much.
I identify as a fluid person. I don't like labels. I don't like putting myself really in a
Right.
box. But like similar to what Sarai said, my first experience, any type of sexual feeling or attraction to anybody was a girl.
Wow.
And
Mm.
I went to my mom. I'm like, "Oh, mommy, I have a girlfriend." She beat the shit out of me. Like, and I was like, "Okay, so I can't be open. I can't talk about this." I didn't know. I was like
And
5
that's
years
the
old.
problem.
Yeah.
And
I
that's the
didn't
problem.
know.
And that's
And
that's
so
another
it's
problem.
not
know
that
what
way.
generation.
Like literally.
Wait, let her
Guys, let her
finish.
finish,
Yeah.
please.
Honestly, I didn't say anything about it. I just, I just kept my feelings to myself. I always liked women. Maybe like 6th grade, I decided to come out like, "Hey guys, I'm bisexual." Lost so many friends.
Sounds about right.
Then 3 years later, 2 years later, I'm in high school, and everybody wants to be bi. It's like a cool thing now. Like,
It was
and
the
I'm
cool
just trying to
thing.
figure out, like, I don't understand how this happened. Literally, a majority of my friends all through like high school and college were all gay men. So I've literally seen their lifestyles. I've seen the struggles that they've had. I've literally personally experienced that stigma where a man that doesn't agree with me liking women had issues with me. Like they had insecurities when I would go out. They're like, "Oh, are you looking at women? I don't trust this your friend. The way you're looking at how you people are too close just because I like women." And it's not okay. It's also not okay for men to think that because every other men are gay, they're now looking at them. Not every gay nigga wants you, bro.
Right.
Not every gay nigga is looking at you just because they're
I had to
gay.
realize
You
that.
know what? That's the main thing with homophobia.
We had to learn
yes.
that.
That's the
We had to
main
learn
issue
that.
with homophobia.
See, I have so
Yeah, take
we
it.
live in a world where but we live in a world where
Gay men
no, not even that. I want to be so general with this situation. So like we
Alright.
live in a world where it's ordained that a man
And a woman.
woman, and they produce, they make it. So like, where did all of this has this been around since?
It's been
It's
around.
been around.
Bro, I'll give you an example. Bro, I'll give you an
Back onto
example.
that
Aren't we created to reproduce? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the
No,
old
that's the
fashioned,
thing.
like the way it's supposed to.
Here's the thing.
You know,
Yeah.
like remove my religion
and it's up to you to
out of the
decide that you
picture,
wanna
but
do
it
that.
was like,
Actually,
yeah, like isn't that the way it's
Put
supposed
50
to
men and
be?
50 women on an island, life is gonna keep going. You
we
feel
don't
me?
need Joe anymore. We
Some
don't
put
need
50
Joe
gay niggas
anymore.
and 50 gay niggas on an island.
We don't
Life
need you
stops.
anymore.
But
You have to understand
we don't need you at all. As long as we got IVF and I got about 7.
But
Yes,
before
y'all
that,
do
but
need that.
before that, you
Yeah,
can't
you know,
you can't say
we
that.
only need
If
you
one
for
man dies, you
your
can extract
sperm.
your
So we need
sperm
us.
and impregnate a
Yeah, we
billion
need each
bitches.
other.
Only
So
for
we-
that's
Before, what
only
about
for a
before
little
all
bit.
of that?
Only for a little bit.
What about before all
We
of
need.
that?
So I told you, I'll give you
How
an
many-
example.
how many
I read
I'm
something
losing my voice.
recently
I'm
that
not talking
Julius
about
Caesar,
it.
like there was something I read. It was said that Julius Caesar pretty much was
Back then,
was laughed at, was like became the laughing stock of his friends for having sex with a man. Now, and it wasn't because it was gay. They laughed at him because he was a bottom, and this is Julius Caesar. So this whole homosexuality or different sexes, same sex, it's from time.
From the
It's
men,
been
hey,
happening.
y'all got any gay homies?
Gay homies.
You got a gay homie?
I got gay. I wouldn't say homies, cause like honestly, yo, I get uncomfortable around gay guys.
So they
Like,
flirt with you. So
gay
Yeah,
guys.
I
You know
mean,
what I mean?
they're
Like,
queens.
I get
Queens
it.
are fun, and they just like to.
If I-
There's so much
say,
fun.
I love them.
See,
I can hold
You
a
got gay homies?
conversation.
Now, I personally don't have no gay homies,
Yeah.
but my little brother, that's like my twin. And I watched him growing up with his friends. He had a group of like 6 friends. They all grew up together. From time, there was one of them like we all could tell he was gay. It was obvious
And that's
from
gay.
time.
Before he
And that's
knew.
the thing.
Before he knew, and we would kind of tell him like, listen, like I just need. That's one of your really good friends. We need you to be prepared for when that time does happen, how y'all handle it. All his friends, they
nice.
all niggas. Like it's like fuck that gay shit. But yo, when he came, it's crazy. When he came out, they really took him in. So I thought that
I
shit was
love
crazy.
it.
It's
I
beautiful.
love
They
You know
really
what?
took him in.
That's beautiful.
You know
That's
what?
what I want to
That's
do.
You got gay
The
homies?
biggest issue with it, well, you know he don't. But
You didn't say no.
oh well, I don't know. Just
Well, the
based
thing
on what
is,
he
you
was
may
saying,
never
that he was
know.
talking.
You might
Yeah.
not know.
Do you have any gay
I don't,
friends?
not that I know of.
Yeah,
And that's,
exactly.
and that's the thing, you really don't know. The worst part about being a gay man is the way that people treat you for being a gay man. Like, honestly, even as a female, you know, like everybody loves lesbians allegedly, but they really don't. Like I've had a lot of people come at me
Men are scared about
crazy,
that.
especially men. And the crazy part is, the thing is this: because I like men, because I like women, like there's definitely a misconception that people who identify as bi or pans or anything other than just one, that they're hoes
That
and
you
that
have
you
to
want
have
everything.
everything.
You're
Everything.
greedy. My thing is this: like, if you're my man, like, and I'm straight, then that means you're just insecure, period, because you think I'm gonna be fucking all these other guys. Because if you're my woman, you're just gonna be my woman, and I'm not gonna be fucking no other females either, let alone fucking a man on you. Like that's,
So,
that's
I want to be with a man, but I want to be able to have the fun with him to bring in another woman. Like, I want to have the experience.
So you're open. You're in a, like, you don't mind open relationships.
No, I definitely want that relationship to be closed with a lock on it, baby.
Yeah, but
I'm
But
No,
if
but
you
y'all-
wanna-
y'all- y'all
He's
can
okay
bring up
with
when
bringing
y'all want.
someone into the relationship.
she wants to
And I
decide
don't
when
even
it's
think,
open
sis,
or
if she
not.
come in,
So,
if
like,
she go, if she
Well,
Right,
not just
Anita?
gonna be able to suck
You want to
his dick,
decide
so
when it's
Like
open or
Ja,
not.
she can suck his dick,
Ja, you were
and she
saying-
can go down here.
But he
and-
can't do
and
it.
Can't have sex with her?
He can come over here and handle anything he
He
wants.
can't have sex with her?
No,
Why
like-
not?
Hey, so
Fuck
alright.
no.
Why not?
So
Oh,
if a
Well, that's
dude-
not
Why?
if a
You
dude,
feel me?
you
That's
should
not
date-
what
Extra
Well,
person in
it's
your
a
pussy
piece
sucking dick.
Pop
Say it, but-
That's not shit.
I'm a little too needy. Even if it becomes the topic of what I said, I don't believe in love or polyamory and all of that. I'm
We
too
didn't believe
needy.
you.
At the end
Yeah.
of the day, if I'm in your like this here, What the fuck you gotta look at another bitch for?
Hey,
I don't gotta
can a
know.
man come back from being gay?
Like,
Nah,
What do you mean
you
come
gay, you
back?
gay.
Dang.
Hold on, hold
John,
on.
like with what
What
you
you
were
said
saying,
was-
you said you have.
Right,
you
that's what I'm
said-
saying.
hold on,
A
push
gay
pause,
man
push
doesn't
pause.
come back.
Ain't no
You said
coming
you
back.
had push pause,
That's
push
not-
pause,
that's
push
not a
push
thing,
pause,
that's what I'm
push
saying.
pause,
Jesse.
y'all. Let's
I mean,
finish, Josh.
But a man can be gay and
Okay.
then decide that he wants to be a woman with a woman, though, right?
Yeah,
then just
and that's
But John,
that's
what
the
always
choice
said,
he wants
you
to
Hold on.
make.
Sasha, can I hear her real
Okay,
quick?
You
watch
Sasha,
out,
had,
watch
Sasha.
out.
you had
Mm.
not gay homies.
Mm.
But what's your outlook on those that might come to you, that are coming to you and be like, okay, so I'm interested in you. I know we've been homies for a while, but
So they're
I'm
like trying to
feeling
push
Like a
on
nigga.
push
me?
upon you.
I might swing.
Yo, that's a fucking,
I'm
that's
not
dub. Like, I
What?
let him know.
I feel like that to me, that's
That's
I feel like
insultful.
that's
very
insulting.
insulting.
You
man.
know my
It's very
status.
insulting.
You know my
Orientation.
orientation.
Not
Why would you
everybody knows
force me?
that, though.
Okay.
As my
If-
friend,
You know, I'm a
Exactly.
handle
You
it.
know I'm straight.
I'm
I'm
a-
not
yeah,
like that.
you know,
Because I can
I
ask him a
come on.
question differently, and I can ask you the same
I'ma handle it.
different Would you be able to handle it differently the way that he does as a man?
When I
as a
came
woman?
into the African community in Atlanta to the party scene or whatever, I remember that was like the stigma that was on me. Oh, that's the Ghanaian girl who likes girls. But really it was like, okay, whatever. Like I said, I was curious. I just was curious and I did what I did.
Right.
And all I remember is that the more I partied, the more I was going around socializing, the more I realized that there's a lot of straight females who
That's
wanted
fucking on
to
the low.
smash.
They
They was rubbing that stuff on me, and I was like, yo. So that's I just think it's okay.
See, here's the thing, and Bolale, like one, I gotta commend you a lot because you put yourself out there early. Like you one of the people that, like you said, you were how old? Coming out to her
When
friends.
I came out, like 12, 11, 12.
You feel me? So
Oh,
like
so you
that's
like girls?
that's
I'm
both.
like, I'm like,
Oh, you.
So I think,
Oh, okay.
like what Nita's saying, like a lot of people live in the shadows.
Oh, I
you
didn't
know?
know.
I mean,
It's
they
not
live in the
peaceful.
shadows because it's not peaceful. Like the shit that I've seen my gay friends go through is crazy. The shit that I've been through myself, I've lost relationships, I lost friendships because of my sexual orientation. Yes.
Wow.
So you have gay
that's
friends that
really
like
that serious.
I don't want
like
to
you
be
know they're living
original.
double lives. Or,
Well, no,
Yeah, I
now
can't do
now
that.
everybody's
I
like
wanna
out
have
and free and like
Yeah.
that's what they want to do. But at one time, like one of my closest friends, literally, people thought we were dating all through high school and stuff. I didn't say no, we didn't say yeah, we're
But you
not.
let
But
him
I was
have that
pretty
cover.
much his beard because like that's the term for it, like a woman who's
Yes.
covering for their gay friend. I was pretty much his beard because I already knew what it was and how people were gonna view
So how
him.
did your
Same.
how did your
I went to
family?
prom with my
How did
cousin
your
because
family
he was gay
accept
too.
Family care.
Your cousin?
I went to prom with him.
Please,
I
my
just-
mom, she's not with it.
So-
My dad, he knew from jump, but he just wasn't with it. So
So I
Is he
guess
My,
Currently
one thing
still?
I think we should
he's
all.
currently still not with it. Yeah.
How do
but I'm
you
grown.
feel that we are as? Do you think it's more something that we fear because as Africans?
What I-
That's
I-
definitely a part of it.
No,
That's
what I
what
don't
we're
understand-
That shit
I fear
part
being on
of it.
TV for the kids because when you got kids and
It ain't got
your
to do
son, no,
Your
that's
kids
what
are
I
gonna go through
hate.
the same cycle.
At school,
I just
here's
don't
before
want-
they get
I've
at home.
watched kids, like I've seen generations, like I was like, there was when y'all said that it was a trend in high school or whatever. And I used to have I had a friend and her daughters were like my nieces, and I watched them through elementary school and middle school. All of a sudden, one of them started becoming like masculine, and she was bisexual, and she wanted to be a tomboy, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like,
Hey y'all.
But
Man's worst nightmare is
But
his son
Yeah.
being gay, bro.
Hold on.
Mine-
Hold on.
mine-
But your worst nightmare should be your
Don't
son
focus on
getting
that.
killed or something
Or
like
it's
that.
either your son being gay or getting beat up by a gay nigga.
Don't focus on
That's
that.
your
That's that
worst
second
nightmare.
one. I got a real question with y'all that I want you to help me. Like, it's in my head, but I need help coming up with the question properly. So, my question is, do you think the family dynamic, like how it is in your household, for instance, right? My father, very homophobic. He now understands more, so he's Jamaican, so you know how that goes. So, very homophobic. So, that's how I seen it growing up. So, that's how I approached it as well. But as I grew older, I gave my own views. So to clear up the room with you, if a gay guy try to hit on me or like come at me like that, I'm gonna handle it respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Just like if a female try to come at me, but I'm not interested.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna do it respectfully.
Right.
But like I'm not gonna talk to you. You know, if we were friends
That's
and cordial
that.
before
and that's all
that,
you gotta do.
you know what I'm
That's
saying?
that.
We done.
But if it's deaded, I feel like it should be deaded and the person should respect it. It like that's what we have though. It's a term called predatory gay. Like that's the ones that's like, oh, you like girls, and you're like, I don't like it. Nah, girl, I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
trying to almost pressure you into doing it. That's
Hold
the
on.
predatory gay person.
We off track. We off topic right here.
But he said, do you think the family?
Yeah,
dynamic
do you
has anything
think-
to do with it?
Do you think, because I have a feeling like some or most gay people are gay because the stigma, and it's like, you know how when your parents say don't do something, and that's like more interesting. Oh, why?
Don't push that red button.
No,
You know what I'm
here's the
saying?
thing.
Like, is
This
that
red button,
listen,
you mean?
Listen,
This-
no matter how many times your dad told you to not to suck a dick, if you're not gonna be like, I'm gonna be a rebel and I'm gonna suck a dick,
I wanna
and I'm
what
a
a
man.
dick tastes
That
like.
is, I wanna what a dick tastes. You ain't never had that thought. Here's the thing. I come from a devout Christian household. My family is half Bayesian, which are very homophobic, and half Nigerian, which are also very homophobic. And I never came out per se, but I got caught kissing a girl before. And my mom, who is a devout Christian, goes to church every Sunday. She go to church Wednesday and Tuesday, choir practice, Bible study, all that shit. I grew up in that household. I grew up in a household where I couldn't show my ankles.
deaconess.
I had to buck when I got older and just start doing it. Like, so it wasn't they want me to do it. It's like it was in me. It was in me, and because I love my family, because I wanted to appease them, I fought it. I fought it a lot. I went to prom with a boy. I went to whatever with the boy. I would never be seen out with the female, but behind closed doors, we just kicked it. Like my mom, she would just be like, "Oh, you're a little friend," and I'd be like, "This is my girl. Like you're my whole girl. You over my house every night."
She knew.
But she knew. But that girl, she refused. She refused to accept it. But she did be like, "Well, you don't lock that door." She would only say that with the guy, but she wouldn't even be worried about it. But she would be like, "Oh, you don't want your guy friend to come over?" Hell. Like I didn't have interest in that, but I'm like, oh no, my girl,
guy in my room.
What? And that's but she's not. My mom's not African.
When the girl in the room too
My
much,
mom's
your
not
mama gonna
African.
what?
She don't want any man in the room.
But it's not even mom. But when you think your child is gay and you really are like not believing it, like they did, like it wasn't like a guy in my room. It was just, oh, you don't want to invite that boy over? I like him. He's cool. And I'm like, no, but that girl coming over again. She been here every night this week. Blah, blah, blah.
She knew. She knew. It's not.
My mom felt it.
It's not. There are people.
They know.
There are people.
She was like, it's a spirit, just pray.
There are people. There are people who grow up to be exactly like their parents. You fight it as much as you want to, but you end up being exactly like them. And that's what you're saying. Like your dad homophobic. You feel like that as well. Like it is what it is. But there are people as well who I don't give a damn what they say. This is just what's in me. Those are the people who end up committing suicide. Those are the people who end up being down low. Like I don't respect the down low man at all. I love the whole rainbow. Down low is what I don't fucking deal with, because what you're not gonna do is pretend to be with this woman and like usually they marry them, usually they have kids with them, and that's the bitch you waste her fucking time knowing damn well you sneak dicking. And that I don't respect. But as far as like did my family dynamic have anything to do with it? No. Like I've never some people I do believe that like in a situation like when Michael was talking about with the young boys being molested. So those boys could go one or two ways. It's a fork in the road because they were molested, sexually assaulted, raped, let's just call it what it is. A lot of them probably end up being confused growing up about their sexuality. But at the same time, I dated a dude who told me, unfortunately, and I would definitely never name his name, but that he was raped as a child by his mother's boyfriend. His mother's boyfriend used to force him to give him oral as a child. And as a child, he told his mom didn't believe it because she was one of them women that was just trying to keep his man.
I don't know about y'all,
but listen, let me finish my thought. But my point is, he was super homophobic. And I didn't understand it because I'm surrounded by a lot of gay guys, and my gay friend would be over and he would be like, oh hey, the guy's name, like, man, motherfucker, don't talk to me. And I'm like, listen, I don't date guys like that. You don't have to like men, but don't. Why are you? Raped by, yes, and that's what I'm saying. And then because he did it, that's how he chooses to cope with it. That's how he chooses to cope with it. But as a most genuinely gay people, like every gay guy who I know said the moment they came out of a pussy, they knew they never wanted to go back in. Every gay guy when I came out of my mama's C-section, I was like, hey, where the bitches at? Like that's just how I feel. Like I always like girls, and then I like guys.
I wanted to know if it was better. I was curious.
Maybe they just haven't had sex with the right one.
But I know a gay guy who has kids.
But there are situations, and I'm glad that you kind of brought that up. There are situations where someone will be molested or raped,
and then more influenced by it,
and then they end up becoming that or gay. So
or bisexual and
I just don't see anything sexual about it.
So here's
a dick in the butt.
But that's the thing though, because you are straight, because men like Michael.
That shit is gross to me. Like,
but listen, Michael,
every angle.
I just want to say this: you feel that way because you are straight.
And
man.
I said that's why I said.
No, that's
If you was
fine.
a
That's
dude,
fine.
you probably would like
But
girls
listen, and who knows? Who knows?
Men like head.
Here's the thing.
I'm like,
Here's the thing.
Oh, no.
Men, like
I'm about to ask.
Me
You
the
know I'm about to
problem.
ask. Go ahead. I'm about to ask. I'm about to
I
ask.
like where you're going.
I'm about to
But
ask.
listen,
Yeah.
you decide that you like women because you are a straight man. So with that same concept that there's no fine ass niggas in this world that can convert you to being gay. The same concept only flips with a gay man. He likes other men. There's no badass bitch. They all love Beyonce, and none of them will be like they would ever fuck her. They wouldn't because they like dick. That's just ingrained in them. The same way you look at a woman and you love the curve of her body and you love her smile, you love her beautiful long hair,
And
you
y'all
love
like
her
that too. The
heels.
woman is beautiful.
So that's what I'm saying though. The
Gotta
same way
take
you,
your time
the
with
same
that.
way you feel that way about a woman,
So-
they feel that way about a man. And because it's ingrained in you, and there's nothing that a man could do, like that we can even think of that would make you convert to gay. Like here's the thing: if there's something that a man could do to convert you to the other side, you're not all the way straight.
Nah, you
you may be
never
a little
are.
queer, you might be a little curious,
So,
Yeah.
but
I
it
have
is
a
what
fire
it
ass
is.
I have
head.
a question.
No,
I need to
I have a
ask.
question.
Would you? I have
We'll
to
go
ask.
around.
Go
We'll go
ahead,
around.
go ahead.
Men love head. So yes, they might not be able to provide that vagina to you if they got that butt pussy, but they
That pussy.
could.
Yo,
What does that got to do with anything?
Are you guys so
What?
straight, or would you take some fire ass head from a man?
I'm not.
Oh, from a man.
So
Oh,
here's
no.
the thing. I feel like.
Hell no.
So here's the thing. Men are visual beings, right?
Yo,
I'm sorry.
There's trans
Hold on.
Close your eyes.
And he
I
just,
like the way you
he
started
just,
it off because you already hit it on the what I was
Ain't
about
no
to
way.
say.
no. Look, he just hit it on the, he just hit the nail
That
on
was
the
it right
head.
there.
I'm not gonna
Men
see a man
see
suck
women.
my dick
Yeah.
for me around.
Because
We're visual
Because-
creatures, so it's like,
Yeah.
it just-
Because that's not their
See,
attraction.
and that's why I don't like the way that this topic was worded, because it's like, do you agree with it? Do you agree with what? Why does who I fuck have anything to do with you if I'm not fucking
So I guess
you?
the
That's
main
true.
That means that you want to fuck me and you
Alright,
mad
let's
so like
find the real
fucking
question
bitches.
then.
So
Sorry.
So then what's the
Like,
real question? Let's find the real
What's your
question.
opinion
The
on
real-
That's
Wait,
the
before we get to the real
I
question,
I
I think
think-
the only reason I think, because for instance, like if you're somebody that is devout in faith, right? It's almost like it's a moral obligation to evangelize. So hold on, hear me out. So if that's your truth, that's your faith, and you feel like, okay, how this person is living their life goes against the moral standards and evangelism that I'm supposed to do, it's my duty to try to sway you from there. So I think that from that aspect, I guess I get it. Like I personally don't knock anybody. Do what the fuck you want. That's your life,
For
you know.
real.
But I could see how somebody could be pressed about, or like have an opinion about it.
Okay, so you know that's I can go really deep with that. I'm not gonna go too deep into it because I don't want to offend anybody. Like, and I try not to speak about religion whatsoever. But you know, religion also justifies slavery.
You're right.
You know, religion like there's
Y'all
a
think
bunch
I
of shit.
doubt
There's a
a
bunch
lot
of
of
shit in the
wild
Bible that motherfuckers don't go by. You know, we ain't supposed to be eating no shrimp. Women aren't supposed to cut their hair. Men aren't supposed to be cutting their facial hair. You know, you aren't supposed to mix fabrics. If you wearing a polyester blend, you already going to hell. Apparently, it's in the Bible.
That's why I don't
It's in the
read
Bible. And that's why I'm saying like it's a loaded thing. So I think
personal
I-
things.
I think this. This is what I think, and this is my opinion. It's my truth. It is what it is. Take it how you want to take it. But what other people do has nothing to fucking do with you, especially if they are not interacting with you directly in your daily life. I've been to LA. I've been to New York, Times Square. I've been like all these different countries. I've been on every single continent except Antarctica and Australia. But
You gotta
what
go
I
to Australia.
we getting there, Australian ass nigga. But my point is, I probably seen like at least 1 million people in the world. I don't know what those people are. I don't give a fuck about them. Like I don't
think
care. Like
everybody
I love
agree with that.
everybody.
Yeah,
But
we
no,
all agree with that.
I'm just no. But he just
agree.
said
Me
just
too.
said that he feels like because of his faith, like it's all
He didn't
an
say that.
obligation.
Yeah, I was
explaining
why
why
everybody else
he-
might
But
feel like
that's
that.
what I'm saying though. I don't think those people have like why the fuck does it matter? The same way we see Karens on TV, like, what are you doing? Well, do you live here? Show me your keys. It's like, bitch, I don't give a fuck. Who the fuck are you, bitch? Like, what's your? If you live here, what's your door number?
The Christian
I'm
race
gonna call the
original
police on you.
Karen,
The
okay?
Christian race. I'm saying Christian race, but the Christian religion for the most part is a bunch of Karens.
I think men
A bunch religious fanatics period are Karens.
I
If
feel
you worry
like
about
men from our
homosexuality.
generation
You're
had
not
to
even
learn
Christian
and grow to understand that all gay dudes don't like us, and we had to. I had to learn
Yeah,
that.
You don't-
I
you're
used
straight.
to be
You're
scared.
straight.
of
That's
gay-
like all women.
I used to
I've
be
been in for
scared.
so
That's so
long.
ignorant
Maybe
to
the
gay
new
So many
generation,
great men.
maybe the new
Yeah.
generation, they
So
know
many
how it
great
is
men.
off rip.
But why were you
millennials,
scared?
I used to be scared.
Because
Like,
that, cause
I used to work with a gay dude,
so
and I
it
was
was
not.
built into
I'm
him.
not trying to
Because
talk to
they're
him.
attracted to you?
See,
Women
now-
are attracted to you, you scared of them?
No,
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 no.
no, no,
You
no.
had to
Make your
learn. I
mind.
had to
Are you
learn.
scared?
In 2021, I'm not like that no
Exactly.
more. But in 2009, I was not trying to talk to no gay dude.
Hey,
So,
listen, when
let me
I,
ask a question. Do you guys believe that, you said something, but do you believe that people are born gay? There is, reason why I ask is there's that girl Jamie? The girl who was a boy but transitioned to a girl, and now she wants to transition back into
That's
I've heard and
Somebody- that's
seen many things.
Now,
like that.
I get
people
it.
like
heard
that,
that
so
before.
that's
That.
the whole before
So
you
what's
even
the money?
transition. Usually doctors have you undergo a bunch of psychological evaluations and have you go
I
through
guess they
therapy
failed it.
to make sure that this is what you
Yeah.
genuinely want to do.
She had her own
Because
damn
there
shit.
are plenty of gay men who are very masculine. They're playing like they're football players, athletes, like CEOs,
Thug
like
niggas.
That's
thug
why you
ass
can't.
gay
That's why you
niggas.
really can't try
Gay
them.
niggas
It's
are
not-
the
it's
gay.
not
Hey, do
that.
not ever try a gay nigga. 'Cause
Gay
they're
niggas
still
are men.
at
They
the
are
end of the
men.
day.
My best friend, I have
If
a
they
gay
beat-
friend.
if they beat your ass on camera,
Speaking
you're
of
done.
speaking of fighting, gay guys fighting.
We
Do you
don't talk
think?
about gay guys.
This is just a random
we're
pop
talking
up
about
question.
orientation.
Yeah, we talking about orientation. Is it right for a gay man to fight a woman?
No.
Hell no.
It's not.
Oh,
it's
why?
not
If
a
they
woman,
classify
period.
themselves as a woman.
Right, 'cause now
Here's
y'all.
the thing, though.
A
So
gay
you're
man
talking
does
about
not
can't
fight
count
women.
in the
a
same-
gay
no,
man
that's
does
just
not
like
call himself
men
a
trying-
woman.
That's
That
just
a
like
gay-
gay men trying to run in women's track meets and
Exactly,
stuff
they
like
can't.
that.
Now that's
Like,
no
this
gay
is
man
all
is trying to run in a
testosterone.
woman's track.
No,
No,
yes, they are.
no. What
Hold
they're
on.
speaking on is trans
Hold on.
women. Now here's the thing. In my opinion,
I think that's a more better
Trans
question.
like what?
Trans
Trans
women and gay
women?
men are not the same thing whatsoever. Like a gay man, he
No.
likes men that
Can a
present
trans
themselves as
woman?
I think that's a
So,
question you
now
should
here's the
ask.
thing,
Yeah.
in
Hold
my
on, I didn't hear the
opinion.
question. Sasha.
Can a trans woman beat a woman? You're officially one
Now here's the thing.
classified as a woman. So you're a woman, bitch.
I mean,
you
if you mean if you've already had all the surgery.
Yeah,
you
if
fight
you
it.
identify
Even
yourself
Well, you're
on
right
paper,
about it.
everything.
I'm good. Me
That's
personally,
dicey.
I don't want to
Yeah.
fight. Why are you considering yourself as a
Right.
woman? You're not on my
Exactly.
level.
Well,
If
wait,
you're
that- hold on,
thinking
wait,
you're a
that's
woman
dicey,
like me,
though.
bitch, we're fighting.
well, first of
But
all,
listen,
I
Ladies
paid
and all.
I
you're not
paid
scared
too
of
much
a
for my
trans?
gun to get into a
Well,
fight
no,
with any
I mean,
other
I'm
man.
So
That's
someone
why
like
Wait a
my
second.
ass.
Wait.
I'm
someone like
pretty sure
Caitlyn
that-
Jenner.
But listen,
Like
listen.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Bring
No,
it in.
someone that looks more believable as a
Bring it,
woman.
bring it.
Amaya
This
Scott.
called
Like Amaya
Cassie.
Scott, like there's some of these
Amaya
women
Scott
that
is
you
a
would
bunch
never
of
know was a man. So if you get in a
Yeah.
fight with him, you're never gonna.
What
know
about
that
what about
he's a
Caitlyn
man.
Jenner? If
But they
a
never-
woman was
She
getting a
looks like a
fight,
man.
She's
She's a
way
she still looks like a
Yeah,
man.
I'm saying
So
someone
here's
more
the thing.
believable.
It's so horrible.
So there's certain things that you have to think about as well.
So that's
because,
your
okay,
perception,
back to
so-
that. Though, let's say Caitlyn Jenner beats my ass because she's muscular as fuck, but she's
I'm
dressed
shooting
as
that
a
bitch.
woman, same as me.
Medalist.
So who's going to jail? Who's going to
Right,
go to
that's
jail
the
for
real
whooping
question.
somebody else's ass?
Whoever
more?
started the
both
fight,
going
if
to
she
jail.
whoops my ass,
First of all, both of y'all gonna go to jail.
Whoever killed the next one.
In the eyes of the law,
Yeah,
in the eyes of the
if
law,
it's a
both
man
of
or
you are
woman,
at least
yeah.
gonna be charged with battery. Now, if Caitlyn just fuck your ass up and break some shit, you probably gonna
You
get
gonna
charged
be
with
charged
assault.
as a man?
She gonna get charged with assault.
As assault.
As far as you're talking
Probably.
about gender, we
That's
were talking
crazy,
about
yeah.
sexual orientation and what,
Yeah.
like, we're not talking about what people identify as. But since we're talking about that, according to the law, it's what's between your legs. If you are a trans woman, you have the breast, you have long hair, you have whatever, and you have a penis, you will get sent to a men's
What did the
jail.
doctor put on the
That's
birth
what-
certificate?
Yeah. And
What
that's
is-
how-
Birth certificate doesn't matter.
They
You
get
have
it.
to change.
They
You got
get
breasts,
they
you got
in
tits.
jail. They
What
love
you
that
come
life.
out with?
But here's the thing, though.
What
Here's
you
the
come
thing,
out
though.
with?
Listen, most men aren't getting breasts. Most men aren't wearing long hair. Most men don't wear dresses.
come out
with?
So
They
that
just
my
want a
point,
vagina.
no, my point
Huh?
is it's not even about wanting a vagina. My point is a gay man. I can say gay. A man is a man. A woman is a woman. A trans person is something completely different. A trans
Yeah.
woman is something different than a trans man. Is something different than a woman. Is something different than a man. None of them are on the same level.
I got a
None of
trivia
them are on the
question.
same
Trans
level.
women be trying to get like benefits of women or
Yeah.
trying to do shit like
Yeah.
women.
Now,
No,
some-
trans men.
Thought that I
Oh,
had.
trans
You
men.
can't do
But
that.
both of them do.
True.
But here's the thing, though. If I genuinely believe that I am a man because this is the way that I've always felt, I've never felt comfortable with my breasts. I get my breasts chopped off. I've never felt comfortable with my vagina. I get it turned into into a penis. Like that's genuinely how they feel.
Let me
so
flip
you
the table.
can't
So
tell
if I
them-
wake up today and be like, yo, I'm white.
Race is not the same thing.
How
as
is it not the same?
gender.
My
You can't
skin
say that.
is,
It's all
you
the same
literally
thing.
have
Because if I wake up and want to be
different
this,
genetic
Listen, when
makes
you
you
are
accept
in
it. My
People change
skin
their
is
skin color every day.
I have a degree in
But
molecular
you're not white,
biology.
you still black.
When you are in the womb, we all start off as women. We all start off as females
That I know.
in the womb.
That
All
I
of us
know.
do. All of us do. There's a very
You're not
thin,
male or female yet.
but no,
You're
no,
no,
everyone. You
start
have
off
a
as
vagina.
female.
You
That I
have a
even know.
clitoris.
Your bones are literally the same thing
clitoris
that our
turns into
ovaries
the
are.
head of
When
your
you're
clitoris.
Clitoris look like
Well,
penis.
that's
Clitoris
not
look like
the
small
balls.
penis.
No,
saying that.
It's a flip side. You see,
No,
I
that's
say
not
no,
significant.
no,
You're missing what I'm saying.
Clitoris is
What
long on the
I'm
inside.
saying
It's
is,
long on the
It's
inside.
gonna
What I'm
go
saying
into a
is,
penis.
when you Google
You're
it
not
right
gonna get a
now,
penis to get into a
if you
clitoris.
Google it right now, and I don't know the exact one, so I don't want to just get fact checked and be like, motherfucker, she was wrong. But we all start off with what presents itself as a vagina. There's a hole, there's a clitoris, there are like two sides, like little
I'm not even
coochie lips.
formed yet.
But
It'll
listen,
count.
but okay,
It counts.
you're not listening. That's
Okay.
not my point. My
All right,
point
go ahead.
isn't that you're a girl. That's not my point.
Okay.
My point is that there's a thin line between male and female. The point that trans women can take hormones for about 6 months and naturally grow breasts, and naturally they just get softer, and naturally their hair starts growing, and naturally their facial hair will slow down, grow, and sometimes
Because
even
you already
stop
got a little
because you already damn near there. You have an X and a Y chromosome if you were born male. I have an X and an X.
That's it.
If they shut off your Y chromosome,
You're done.
you will start turning into a woman naturally. Your voice will get higher. You
That's
will
what
grow
you'll get
bones
softer.
naturally.
You'll have
You
new
will,
thoughts.
your hips will come
She
out.
said new
Like,
thoughts.
This is fucking up my mind.
Yes,
Yeah,
okay,
but
that's just
so-
Don't let
science.
it go. Block it. Just
Okay, I want to
Bring it
stir
in.
the conversation back to what we're talking about,
Sexual
sexual orientation,
orientation.
because we started talking, we're
We're
on
going
100
to biology
So,
now. It's different.
being a fluid woman, though I love women, I love men. I will even let me say what I would do.
No, say
Anyways,
tell us.
anyways,
Tell us.
so
Right.
I personally just do not agree with how the media has been influencing and just putting it so heavily into our children's faces, because I want my child to make
I agree.
their own decision.
Yeah.
And a lot of these
Yeah.
shows, even the young shows, even these cartoon things, there'll be two guests kissing each other. I'm like, why is my child now having to grow up and be confused? Let them make their own decision.
Right. Now I say this is my view on that, and I feel because I understand that because I try to see both sides. I don't try to be like, this is my view and I don't give a fuck what you're saying because I'm right. No, that's not at all. I see that. I see both sides. But at the same time, there are also cartoons of a man kissing a woman. So here's the thing: like a gay child can see a man kissing a woman and they still don't want to kiss the member of the opposite sex. So what I say is, I think putting gay things or just LGBTQIA things in cartoons, in children things, on TV, period, is a great thing because like he just said, we're millennials. Like we're like slowly but surely we're starting to be more okay with it. We're starting to be more accepting. We're starting like there's becoming less trans people getting murdered. There's becoming less gay people getting murdered and bashed and assaulted for no reason just because you're gay and I'm straight and I don't like it. So I think putting it on television is a great thing. And because
putting gayness on
I'm
television
gonna
is
finish
cool?
my statement.
Let us finish.
And what I'm saying is I feel that way. I feel that way because it needs to become normalized. Not in saying that this is what you should do, but there are gay people in this world. So to take them off of TV is not, if you take all the gay people off TV today, people will still be gay. I think it needs to be normalized because you need to understand that, you know what? Okay, so some men kiss other men. Well, mommy, like, why is that girl kissing a girl? That's her wife. That's her girlfriend.
Right.
It needs to be
I can respect
normalized,
that.
not pushed.
But I was
Not
actually getting upset too.
Alright.
I feel like Netflix
I don't
is
think it
pushing
should be
so much
pushed.
of it.
Damn.
But I think it needs to become
Hold on.
normalized.
I believe
I got a
it's being
rebuttal.
done, and I believe it's being
If
done.
my
got a
son
rebuttal.
is gay, that is not a reflection of me as a parent.
I
That's
didn't
not.
ask that. I said
I'm
you
saying
cool.
yet I'm explaining why it would because that's not a reflection of me as a parent. That is who my son is. Am I going to stop loving my child
No.
because of what they choose to do? Because if my child bring home a girl, a boy, as long as they don't bring home nobody
Or
underage
stand it.
or no animals, that ain't got shit to do with me. And even if they did, that still ain't got shit to do with me. I love my child.
Yeah.
I love my child as a person. Your job is not to tell your children who to be. Your job is to guide your child and hope they make the right decisions. Because when your child was born, they were born with their own personality. They were born with their own thoughts.
Right.
You don't own your children.
Right.
You don't own any of your children. So
You
your
don't belong to
child,
no
your
one.
child may come out an exact copy of you, and like I'm guessing you would be good with that.
No,
Your
you
child
don't.
come out the
Biblically,
complete
you don't
opposite of
belong
you.
Alright, so
And if you
it
don't
works.
love your child, if you genuinely don't love your child, like the reason that so many gay people have to like go out and be homeless and sell their bodies and be in the situations because their parents kick them out, and they don't. My child ain't gonna have to go through that. that. If you gay, we gonna get through this shit together.
All right, so I got a rebuttal to. Well, I'm going back to the television and normalizing being gay on both sides of the table, right?
Go ahead.
Okay,
I already got a response.
So I don't agree that you should. I agree and disagree that it should be normalized. I don't agree you should be showing children sexual acts, like same sex sexual acts.
They shouldn't be
Or
seeing sexual
regardless,
acts.
Let the man talk. Let the man talk.
same sex,
I will.
different. Yeah, children should see none of it, right?
Yeah, I agree.
But I feel like that is being pushed to normalize it in today's day and age.
It needs to be.
What's up, bro?
And I'm just to kind of, I guess, piggyback off what Sarai was saying. So I think the concept, what she talked about, it kind of makes sense. At the end of the day, it's inevitable. There are gay people in the world, whether we like it or not. So guess what? Whether your child is gonna see it on TV or when they go to school and maybe an 11-year-old decides to kiss a girl in front of them, they go and see, or boy, they go and see it. So why not normalize it now to prevent it from being violent or prevent it from being awkward?
It's stopping molestation. Honestly, I feel like back when it was a stigma and people were getting pushed into the corner. That's why people were sneaking and doing things to little boys, doing things to little girls,
and why they're not coming to telling their parents.
It's best that we just appreciate, or not appreciate it, but like we actually normalize it and push it. I actually didn't understand the TV thing
Till she said it just now.
So now I have
It
a
makes
whole
sense.
different perspective on that. I was getting tired of Netflix pushing transgender on me.
Same thing here.
I was like, what's going on with TV? What's going on with media? But now that makes so much sense because
It's
little
inevitable.
like that shit. Let
me go ahead and put this example out there. I'm piggybacking off of all of you guys. I get 100% of what you're saying, 1,000% of everything, what everyone is saying. It is something that we cannot control. Point blank, period. Whether it comes from birth or anything else, with the minute that you started to realize how even the kids network, Nickelodeon has this show of
SpongeBob gay.
Yeah, but man, take it back before they started getting into that. There's this this
Mr.
kid,
Ratburn
there's
came
this kid that has 10 siblings or so, right? His neighbor is his best friend. His neighbor has 2 dads.
What's the show?
It's a show.
There are people out there.
Is it bubblegum? Something bubblegum?
Madhouse. It's called Madhouse. They have 10 kids in this one house, but his next door neighbor, his best friend, his dads are gay. The thing about it is, it's nothing that we can't do about it anymore. It seems like once everything started being open, that everybody started being open about being gay or anything, it's not even not an acceptance. People will not accept regardless. Just like we're not going to accept that race, it's not going to go away. But you have to understand certain things. It's an understanding at this point. So you have to understand that people are gay, and the thing is they just want to feel accepted. So they're going to throw a little bit of gay responses even in the little kids network because kids are growing up and thinking, am I a man? Am I a woman? Do I like men? Do I like... You gotta give them some type of hint. Yeah, sometimes it becomes like a pushover thing, but it is what it is.
But to be quite honest, kids don't even look at it like that.
They don't.
Kids' minds aren't working like that.
Don't say that. My nephew, 6 years old, he was just like, okay, I'm seeing this thing. I realized, no, he'll tell me this. That's when I was dating a white person. And then he looked at me, he was just like, so you're brown, right? I was like, yeah. He was like, so you're white, right? He was like, yeah. He was like, why y'all two dating? Because I could have sworn this was not allowed.
Guess what?
But that's
learned that
something
somewhere.
That's his color. But
that's
yeah,
something
we're
he
not.
was
But
taught.
the thing is, and then he looks at normal TV,
It'll
and he'll talk to me
That's
normal.
not from TV though.
But
That's
not
something
from
that
TV.
you
No,
learn.
that's I didn't get to the point. That's race. Now, mind you, bring it back. That's race. He told me about another thing as we were watching this, and I saw that there was color. I mean, the whole sex thing. I said, what is this going on? And then he was like, oh no, that's his best friend. His best friend has 2 dads. He was accepting to that. And he just was okay with that. I was like, you got a question to ask about my color? But you're not questioning this?
And that's my point. So, the point I was going to bring up before was, you know, there was a time, you know, if we have older parents and our parents' generation or even our grandparents' generations. Now, I'm not talking about no 400, 500,000 years ago. I'm talking about within like 2 generations ago, within the silent generation, the baby boomer generation, where you weren't even seeing black people on TV. And the reason was because they're thugs, because they're ghetto, because they're violent, they're rapists, they're this, they're that. That was taboo to see. They were disgusting. The way that people got okay with it was the fact that it had to slowly seep on TV. And if you think that a lot of shows, like I think whoever was it, I want to say it was Star Trek or one of those shows like that, which had the first interracial kiss ever on TV, they protested. Like niggas who loved that show, who had that show all on their TV, on their walls and posting and shit, hated that show.
And Star Trek is one of the biggest shows.
One of the biggest shows ever.
Because
They
of
tried to
interracial
cancel it because it was an
right.
interracial kiss on TV. All
On
it did was
American
kiss.
interracial
A
black-
white man kissed a black woman on TV for the first time, and everybody went.
I thought it was
off.
that Cheerios commercial.
Everybody, no, it's way. We're talking about way older.
No, yeah, it was that was
Okay,
really
so
big.
anyway,
Like
when
the
we go
70s.
back to it, there was a time where black people weren't allowed on TV, and then it was like, okay, well, I guess we can let a few of them on TV. And then it was like, okay, well, there's no interracial coupling whatsoever on TV, and it slowly became more accepted and more acceptable because it was happening regardless. But people were being pulled out of their homes and murdered just for being with somebody who came from a different race.
All right,
of
so
them.
All right,
So when
guys,
we
yeah.
talk
it's time to
about
wrap up.
It's time to
Do you
wrap
think
up.
it'll ever be normalized? Yes or no?
I don't accept it being normalized. So.
Do you think it'll ever be normalized?
Most definitely, it's on its way.
Do you think it'll ever be normalized? Yes or no?
No.
Yes. Do you think it'll ever be normalized?
It's normalized.
exactly.
Well, I would
Hey,
say
we wrapping up. I don't
You
think
can-
it will
you can
ever
hate
be
it
gangster or
regardless. It's
cool
gonna
to
happen.
be
Normalized.
shit like
You
that.
The thing is, you're gonna die.
Hey,
and
do
you know
you think it'll
when
be
your kids or
normalized to
your
be
kids,
gay,
somebody
just
gonna be
regular
okay.
life?
Yeah,
It is what it is.
No, it's already normal.
I
It's
bet it
It's
does.
already
Show
the
up.
norm.
Y'all love who you love. We out.
It's a matter of accepting it.
It's a wrap, y'all.
Whether it happened in your
Love who you
lifetime,
love,
your
we
kid's
out.
lifetime,